Chelsea, what's your second one?
So my second one, I decided to go with I just saw another horror movie in that list that I was like, man.
You do this every time. You're like,
Never mind,
here's my next one. Oh, wait, I just thought of this one.
No, I'm going to stick with what I got.
Okay, cool.
And I wanted to go with an animated movie.
All right.
Because that's my bread and butter is children's media or animated media as well. Even if it's like an adult animated movie, whatever, but it's children's media is my main bread and butter. And that's why I love kids horror. I love reading kids horror books. I love eating that stuff up. Like, you go to the library and they got all that stuff in there. They got all that
Goosebumps.
There's Goosebumps. It's what's his name who did
Scary
the
Stories
House
to
of the
Tell
Clock
in
and
the
as well as the
Dark.
book and stuff. I mean, people who know. I didn't read those growing up, but kids who have gone to the library and have read everything know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, there's all this middle grade horror out there, and a lot of it is actually really scary, like actually terrifying, even as an adult. And you're like, wait, this is in the kids section?
Yeah.
And it's like, it is. But it can be labeled as a kids. Kids can still have something horrifying as long as it's not explicit, right? That could actually do some damage.
I don't know.
I beg to differ.
Yeah,
though,
I do
because
too.
of those scary
Yeah.
stories to tell in the dark books. Have
Well,
you seen like those? That's
I
just a collection of stories.
I remember
scary
you
stories.
showed me one of the more darker.
Images.
I think it was Goosebumps. I could be wrong.
Goosebumps?
I think it was a Goosebumps story. It was the one where the babysitter's babysitting the kids, and they have to do this ritual, is what the little girl calls it, before they go upstairs for protection. And it's the one where I think it's Goosebumps.
Trying to remember.
But anyway, it was really like offsetting and creepy and really, really weird. And I was like, that, and the way it
that
ended.
also could have
And the
been
way it
out of
ended,
one of
you're
the
like,
many
oh, you know what
anthology
happened,
books
but there's no
that-
like graphic detail or anything.
So I
Right.
would beg to differ about the Fazbear Frights because
Those
Those are not
freaking
for
messed
kids.
up.
So
are not
those
for
take
kids.
it to
Yeah.
a
Those are not
whole-
for kids.
No.
Yeah.
Those
But
are
they're-
not middle grade.
Think
they're-
of the children.
you buy them in the kids section at Barnes and
That's
Noble.
the problem.
That's messed
That's
up.
a problem. Yeah.
And they're
I don't
published
buy
by
that.
Scholastic.
Oh, Scholastic.
So
You
it's
messed up.
I feel like it's like, oh, they took the concept of Goosebumps and then they're like, we're gonna show every bloody detail
Yeah,
and every
it's right.
disgusting
It's pretty
and
bad
also the
piece.
theme is like the whole theme
There's
of Five
some-
Nights at Freddy's kids should not be reading about anyway.
Well,
It's
the
weird.
original trilogy, sure, but the books change it. It's a different canon.
Oh,
It's a totally different world.
But yeah, okay, but it's
So,
like the concept of
They,
it's just
they
so
still
weird.
explore heavy stuff.
Yeah, it's just ugh.
Anyway, Chelsea, so you picked
Anyway.
an animated movie.
What's your
My
animated
animated
film?
movie is Monster House, which I guess
Oh,
right
wow.
now
Yay.
is gaining a lot of nostalgia traction
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
of this year,
Because the
2024.
Gen Zs are like, oh,
We were
remember
not
this?
children when it came out, though.
It came out in 2006. We were
6?
15
So
years
we were
old.
teenagers.
We were
you
50.
were a kid.
Yeah, I did not like it.
But
How old
we
were
were-
you in 2006?
I was 9 years old,
Oh, okay.
so it was like right up
Me and
my
Allie were
alley.
15.
It was targeted toward me, but I was
Me
like,
and Allie were the perfect
don't
age for
know.
this movie, dude.
yeah, you guys were the perfect age. Yeah. But man, what do you got to say about
Yeah.
Monster House? I haven't seen this since I was little.
Okay,
Really?
so
Yeah, I
You
mean,
haven't revisited it?
Yeah, I never liked
We
it.
watch it every year.
is it because you had a negative impact on you as a kid? Just the vibes of it all?
The vibes
And the
and
disconcertion from
I
our
think
mother?
now I would think it would be cool to watch. But
It's-
as a kid, I'm
oh,
like, this
it's
is
so
so messed up
amazing.
and scary. I don't like it.
Jake,
but-
you would love all the cinematography in it.
I know. I need to revisit it now because like, keep telling me on it. Keep telling me to revisit. What more you got to say about it?
Okay, what's his name? Robert Zemeckis got this
Oh,
one. wrong.
that's
This was
right.
This was his company. It's a motion capture movie, by the way.
Yeah, it's
Did
one
you
of
know
those
that?
CGI
This was before.
ones.
I
you
think
know?
this was before Polar Express.
Is it a Maji?
No, Polar Express was 04.
Was it 04?
Yeah.
Okay, then it might have been.
So
right
this was
after
the
that.
follow-up.
No, it was
Okay.
after Polar Express.
Was it? Okay.
What's the company
It's not.
called?
It's not Imagine that did
Directed
this
by Gil Keenan.
Gil Keenan.
And
He did
Dan
the-
Harmon wrote it?
one. No, he was one of the writers.
He was one of the writers
But
on this?
but really, kind of like with Michael Bay producing a bunch of movies, you're like, oh, it's definitely a Michael Bay movie, but it's not directed by him.
Oh, Gil
Same
Keenan
thing.
with
This is a
Robert
Robert
Zemeckis,
Zemeckis
yeah.
movie,
Gil
even though it wasn't
Keenan-
directed by Robert Zemeckis.
Gil Keenan was supposed to originally direct the Five Nights at Freddy's movie,
He
but that
directed
didn't
the
work
reboot
out.
of Poltergeist in 2015, and he directed the recent Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he's a
movie.
horror
I've
guy.
seen Ghostbusters.
I
cool.
follow him on
Yeah.
Instagram.
He's a cool guy.
Anyway,
Anyway.
it's about a group of kids, two kids actually. It's about two best friends, and they live across from the cranky old man across the street. And everybody says, "Uh-oh, that house is haunted. Stay away from old Mr. Nevercracker. He's gonna, he's a horrible man." Okay, these children, a lot of kids' toys get lost in his lawn, and he comes out Okay, he doesn't have like a weapon or anything, but he might as well. Like
shaking his
he
fist.
is running out, and the camera gets right
And
up in
that's
his
what
face.
I was scared of as a kid.
The camera gets like right up in his face and stuff from down below. Like you're the kid. You're like, oh my god,
I don't want to be down here.
Yeah, and he's screaming at these kids, and he breaks their toys when they come into his yard.
Yeah,
He's like,
he-
"You stay away!" And you're like, "Holy crap!"
He destroys
and
their
stuff. And
stuff.
so this kid lives across from him. It's Halloween night. Halloween night's coming up, and his best friend loses his toy in the yard, and he wants to go get it. They find Mr. Nevercracker has a heart attack at some point.
Dude, Robert Zemeckis and Steven Spielberg's Amblin and whatever is Robert
Yeah.
Zemeckis.
Oh yeah, this feels like a
Hell of
I
a
Steven
think
Spielberg
that's the
movie.
only reason Mom went was because of the Steven Spielberg angle.
Did she take you guys to go see this?
Yeah, she went with us.
Lexi.
I went to go
me.
in the theaters.
Yeah, you were in the theater, I thought.
No,
with us.
No,
Mom
I did
didn't let
not
them
go see
it.
this.
I thought
No.
he said it.
No,
No.
no
Oh, I thought he
way,
was
no.
there.
No, it was
No.
just we went with friends. We went with Casey and Kirsten.
Yeah, Casey Kirsten probably went.
See, we've already talked about my brain.
Yeah, what's
So-
wrong with it?
Anyway,
My brain, what's wrong with it?
Continue.
Anyway, now the old man's out of the way. The kids are like, "Oh, well, we can go get our toys in the house."
Oh,
well, the
Steve
house,
Buscemi plays the guy. That's awesome.
Starscream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Steve Buscemi plays
Imagine
the guy.
Starscream running
Yes,
out there.
the Starscream and the guy from Fargo, Adelaide. Yes, Steve Buscemi.
do like AI voice of Starscream like yelling at kids.
Like, yeah, but Starscream's
I want Starscream to replace
This
all
audio.
of Steve Buscemi's characters. So, like, the dude from The Big Lebowski who gets killed, I just want the Starscream to be like, ow! It's like, how could, bro, how could you kill him, man? And it's like the guy from Fargo, Starscream's going into the wood chipper, and it's like, ah! Like, all the time.
that would be
Steve
fine.
Buscemi-
He's a robot.
Yeah, oh, he's a robot. You know?
Starscream is randomly in Monsters Incorporated.
Get off my lawn!
Anyway, the kids find out that the house is actually haunted,
Yes.
and it's a lie. And by haunted, I mean it literally
Oh, man.
can physically grab people. Okay, it's not like, oh, the house is haunted, I'm seeing weird things. It grows teeth and it grows arms.
It's a monster.
It's a monster
Yeah.
house in every literal way, and it is one of the best horror kids movies ever.
It's some good eating right there too, because like when
Yeah.
you see it, I can't describe it. It's just cool.
It's cool, yeah.
Like,
it's a
it's
great
just-
the
design.
rule of cool
The design.
is the peak of
oh,
this movie.
oh yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
it is like I'm gonna like let's watch it again, but it's not just because it's cool. Like you go in because it's cool, but it's so funny. Like there's so many funny
The kids
Ke-
in it.
Kevin James plays the officer in this.
Kevin James.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kevin James. And John Hader, I think he's the dude in the pizza place.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, what he said, he's like, I paid $52 for that ball. He starts crying and he's like, we're not going to get your ball. And he's like, I mowed 2 lawns and asked my mom for $1.50 times. I never worked so hard in my life.
I forgot about that. Oh,
I will be
man.
seeing you later. Like, it's something really
Oh, man.
Yeah, so like I remember like after seeing that movie, I was like, man, it's so cringe, but that's because like
What?
we would act like that, so I'm like, oh, never mind. So as an
I didn't think
adult,
that at all. I was
That's
so like seeing it in theaters, like with
So,
the sounds, like
yes.
oh my god!
If they ever do a re-release, which I think
they did,
they did recently, like this year, as of this podcast,
Really?
yeah,
it
like
was like a one night thing.
I would have
that's
loved
cool.
to see it
Yeah.
again in theaters or like 3D
Mm.
or
Oh,
like
yeah,
3D,
3D,
or
yeah.
I would
yeah,
pay 3D for that.
just the first time the house reveals itself.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Mhm.
Like I'm gonna
I feel
Tear
like
you kids
everything,
apart.
every beat of this movie is so professional and on. Like everybody knows exactly what they're doing. They know how to make an amazing movie. And I feel like at the time it didn't make a lot of money. I don't think
yeah.
when we went to the theater, we went to see it 2 times, 3 times.
Really?
Yeah,
Dang.
yeah.
I
we went
remember
to see
at
it, like,
least
3
seeing it
times.
twice.
Yeah, at least
But
twice, but
I-
I think we did go 3 times.
I remember Mom went with us the
first
first time, and she enjoyed it too because she said, "Man, those kids were real kids."
Yeah, it's Steven
Mm.
Spielberg.
Yeah, she's like those kids really knew how to act like
So
kids.
the budget was 75 million, and it made 141. So maybe about a case budget, maybe some of the marketing.
Oh,
I
it
just
really
remember
is
the
a
theaters being so
Transformers
empty.
story.
Like,
Oh my god!
Sad.
Yeah, it made more money than Transformers. You
I
know?
know.
Adelaide, that's a
Adelaide's-
mega franchise.
I know.
It'll be fine. It'll
It's
be
not,
fine. We
but
need
what
more
a-
monster houses.
Anyway.
Anyway, that's my second movie pick.
Okay, I like. I do need to revisit this. I remember not liking it as a kid because of what you find out of the story behind the house and everything. And
It's super
It's just
dark.
super
but
dark.
It's sad. It's more
and it's
sad.
sad. I think that's why I didn't like it. 'Cause it was
Yeah,
sad when I
very
was a kid. I'm
sad.
like, oh, this is
Like a little
sad.
too much. It was a little too
Intense. It's pretty intense. Like the
yeah,
bad
and then
stuff.
it's a kids' film, so like some people that died actually didn't die.
Yeah,
so that's
there's a
kinda
guy.
neat,
Yeah,
you know?
it's like, wait, they're alive.
Yeah,
and I
wait,
remember
what?
thinking when we went to go see this, like, whoa, they actually did that. Oh,
Yeah,
they
they
actually
ate
had the
that
guts
guy.
to do that. And then
Yeah.
like, oh, what? They lived.
I'm sure
I can't wait-
Hollywood I'm sure Hollywood is like whatever producer had a say in that. Like I know
Well,
Gil
yeah.
Keenan would have been
I'm
like, we're
sure-
killing these people.
Yeah, we're killing these people.
And I'm sure the studio came in and is like, nope, they gotta stay
I
alive.
mean, I'm
Something's
sure
gotta be-
whatever. I'm sure Steven Spielberg and Rob Schneider are like, look, this is what they like. This is what producers like. Here's that middle ground that you can find. And
Right.
like
Yeah,
they
let's
had their
do it- let's put it in the
fingerprints
credits.
all over this.
Yeah,
movie.
in the credits.
Right.
You know. But I'm really intrigued to go revisit this now.
Yeah, I went, and we gotta have like the surround sound and everything.
Yeah.
Like, wah.
Hmm.
It's time for an in-your-face disgrace. Oh, my nose is bleeding in my brain.
All right.
So that's what this movie's known for.
so
Sure.
funny.
Also, the memes coming out of this, like I see every once in a while, like
There's memes.
yeah, like the officer when they go up to the officer, and like he's like, "What are you guys doing here?" And he's like, "Nah," and then like they take him doing that, and they put like any kind of sound effect in there, like the wah or the like any of the
What?
weird stuff.
That's like YTP.
It's
Yeah,
because
YTP
Gen
memes.
Z's in the mainstream with meme creation now. That's why they're doing it. So,
That's
anyway.
a good.
Brain rot.
That's a positive thing about TikTok now is that you have that generation discovering
yeah.
this stuff,
Yeah.
and everyone's
Like
like,
me and David
"What?"
joke about this. I'm like, David, the Zoomers have discovered
The
like,
Zoomers.
Silverhawks or something from the Warner Brothers animation.
Well, now they've discovered Monster House,
Now they
so-
discovered
which is a good
Monster
thing.
House.
So
Yeah, it's a good thing. So